on the shot.
So, ladies and gents, esteemed guests, councillors, young athletes, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Okay, I'm going to read this here as it says. Welcome everyone to the 2016 Set for Success ceremony. So like I said, so we've got Mr. Mike Goody coming up later, but before then we will be congratulating our wonderful young athletes and winners who are here today. But before that, I'm going to introduce to you our amazing Mr. S4S Geezer himself. He is board member, Mr. Mike Sutton. Now, before Mike gets on the stage, I'm going to read out some stuff about him, so that way you would, well, get to know him a little bit more. Please excuse me for doing this. I'm going to hold it at a length because I have forgotten my glasses, but here goes. This is for you, Mr. Mike Sutton. A founding member of Set for Success, Mike qualified as a PE teacher 23 years ago, went on to be a head of PE and has been involved both locally and nationally in the development of the PE curriculum. Mike has played many sports to a competitive level, but has failed to master any of them. Despite being a rugby player, his highest accolade was gaining the silver medal in a national gymnastics competition. Not bad for someone who can't do a handstand. So, ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome to the stage, Mr. Mike Sutton.
A big welcome from me. Can I take this opportunity to welcome all of the award winners sat on the front rows and their teams. That's parents, siblings, teachers, sponsors, coaches, patrons, Mike Goody, our guest speaker, Lucy Wood, one of our patrons, representatives of the local press, West Sussex County Times and the District Post. Without the support, advice, time and considerable financial investment from all of you, these young people would undoubtedly not be sitting here at the front. And based on that assumption, once you've divided up the award money, I reckon you'll all be good for about £12.36. I appreciate that many of you, and I notice there are many multiple award winners with us today, have heard part of my speech before, but this is the only bit that I can recycle. So I just want to brief you all with a brief history of S4S. As Dave said, we set up 6 years ago from an idea that was generated by members of Horsham Rotary Club, and we quickly formed into a dedicated group with representatives from local sports clubs, schools, sports development, Horsham District Council and some very generous sponsors, many of whom have remained faithful to the cause ever since. Initial sponsors included Spofford's, Ringway, Places for People, Leisure, Wakefield Jewellers, Atom Mortgages, Horsham District Council and of course Horsham Rotary, who remain our biggest and most important supporter. We developed our initial constitution with the advice of Sport Aid UK, which is a national charity, and there's a short film which follows my introduction, which will hopefully explain a little more of the work of Sport Aid. We've now made over 130 awards in more than 30 sports, and those include rugby, football, hockey, basketball, cricket, baseball, softball, badminton, volleyball, triathlon, athletics, swimming, cycling, water polo, diving, gymnastics, a variety of equestrian events, trampolining, judo, karate, kickboxing, golf, climbing, ballroom dancing, and short mat bowls. We still have not made an award for a netballer or a tennis player, which I find astounding. Needless to say, as an awards committee, we've learnt an awful lot about a lot of sports, and I think the biggest challenge for us, and there's 6 of us, is when all the applications come in, is trying to identify what meets that gold standard across a real variety of sports. So how do you match the gold standard in trampolining against rugby, with climbing against volleyball? And that's part of the challenge. And I must say, it's a pleasure to work with so many dedicated people, and we have some very interesting conversations. We have made multiple awards to 16 people. So there's 16 of those 130 awards, people have won more than once. 5 of them have received 3 awards. And I think for us, that's a real demonstration that we're getting it right, that we're investing and recognising these people's talents and abilities at a young age, and then years later, they're still making good progress. So like any organisation, we felt it right to evolve with the times, and this year we've invested some time in both revising and relaunching our media profile, our awards criteria, and the awards themselves. So experience over the last 6 years has now led us to increase the value of each award from £250 to £300. Now before you start planning how you're going to spend the extra 50 quid, that doesn't kick in until the next round of applications, so I'm sorry. And we're going to put a limit on 2 awards per person, and we're going to increase the time to reapply for award to 24 months. And the reason we're doing that is so that we can make a greater financial contribution to those that we feel are making that sustained progress over a period of time. Now, if you're sat here thinking, I've already won 2, I can't apply again, or I've won today, I can only reapply one more time, that starts from the next set of awards. Okay, so it's a clean sheet for everyone. You can all make 2 more applications as long as you fit the criteria. We are immensely proud at Set for Success of the achievements of all of our awardees, and I can genuinely say on behalf of all of us involved, it's extremely rewarding to help provide the recognition that these youngsters deserve and to see them grow and become successful. I think this charity is not just about giving out bursaries, it's about raising the profile of sport, raising the achievement of young people in the Horsham district. We're really honoured to have with us today one of our patrons who has completed the entire Set for Success journey. She's been a 3-time recipient of an award, and in the middle of that got herself selected for the England squad at the Commonwealth Games, where she gained a silver medal. I'm talking about Lucy Wood. If Lucy would like to just take a stand, quick round of applause for Lucy. Thank you very much. I think Lucy really embodies what this organisation is about recognising that talent and supporting it. And Lucy's been a fabulous supporter of us and has come back and made awards herself. She was really unfortunate this year not to go to Rio. She was part of the 31. You might have heard when the gold medalists were interviewed, they talked about the team of 31, not just the team of 16 that were in Rio. Lucy was part of that squad and narrowly missed out on selection to Rio due to injury. So we wish her all the best for the future. We very much look forward to continuing to profile your successes, Lucy. It's not easy being a teenager in 2016, I'm told. I'm not one. There's an awful lot of pressure and a lot to try and squeeze into a very short childhood. And we talk a lot in schools about developing resilience and building a growth mindset. A belief that challenges make us stronger, more confident and more rounded individuals. And I think that the young people sat in front of us today really are an embodiment of all that. So one more time, just give us a quick round of applause for everyone who's managed to do that. Right, I think I'm managing to juggle my bits of paper. So before we progress with the actual awards, we do have a short film. Technical support. A short film to show on behalf of Sport Aid, which gives an outline of the work that they did. Thank you.
Next is a 5 a.m. start.
Day after day.
Next is the courage to go on.
Again. And again. And again.
Again and again and again.
Next is chasing your dream.
Making you proud, Mum. Again and again and again.
Next is finding the strength
You never knew.
Next is the roar of the crowd.
For my team, for my country.
Day after day.
Next is never to doubt.
Again and again.
Next is nothing without you.
Without you.
Without you,
But with your help,
I'll be next.
I'll be next.
I'll be next. I'll be next.
I'll be next.
I'll be next.
I'll be next.
I'll be next. What will you do?
What will you do?
I'll be next.
Okay. I think probably everyone in this room can probably identify with the sentiment of that. Okay, so we're going to move on to the awards now. We're going to do this in two halves. There'll be 10 awards, and then I'll introduce Mike Goody onto the stage for his keynote speech, and then we will have the remaining awards. Now, don't get nervous at the front. It's not like the Oscars. You've all definitely won something, so you will all be coming up. So don't look surprised when I start talking about you. And what normally happens in these things is I start talking, people stand up, everyone starts clapping, I have to talk louder, you can't hear what I'm saying, children wander around not knowing where to go. So this is what's going to happen. I'm going to start talking. I'm going to try, at the beginning of when I'm speaking about each child, to mention their name. When you hear your name, you stand up, and you come onto stage, and you get your award from Mike. Parents, coaches, teachers, guests, please don't start clapping until I've stopped talking. I will stop talking at some point, but please don't start until my boss is in the crowd doing that. Okay, so here we go. I'll give the first person a bit of a clue. Rebecca, it's you. Okay, right. So, it would seem that Rebecca Barber, it's your cue to stand up, was swimming almost before she was walking. At 3, she swam 2 lengths unaided. At 7, she started competing, and she now holds no less than 10 county titles and 2 South East Regional bronze medals. If this is not impressive enough, Rebecca has also been selected for the England Talent 1 squad. Now, the next person doesn't need to stand up because she's not here. But I am going to talk about Cecily Turner, who was originally a swimmer that took up water polo at 10. She plays in the England Seniors League, has been a member of the England Talent Programme for the last 2 years. Her next goal is selection for the Under-17 European Championships. But today, she is in Malta with English schools, so sadly can't be with us. So, in her absence, a quick round of applause for Cecily. And we move on to Emily Orman, who is a successful goalkeeper, identified by the Football Association as an elite player. She has been contracted to Brighton Hove Albion for the past 2 years, and she is now training with the England Under-15 squad. We've not yet had a fixture. We're waiting for Emily to pull on the England shirt, and I'm sure she'll be doing that in the not-too-distant future. Well done, Emily. Reese Besley is a gymnast, and after only 4 years in the sport, managed to place 5th in the national finals, training at the National Sports Centre at Lilleshall, and gaining a silver medal at the London Open last year, followed up with a bronze medal this year. Last year, Reese scored a perfect 10 on the vault, which is incredibly rare in gymnastics, and he now has his ambitions firmly set of becoming an elite gymnast. Alexandra Maltzer's hockey journey began when she was 13, and since then she has played at every representative level, including Horsham first team for the seniors, South East, which she captained, the South, and England under-16, where she's played internationals against Ireland, Scotland and Germany. This year she's moved up an age group, and her next goal is to be selected for the England under-18s. Is Will Carey here? Okay. Will's a triathlete, so he might zip in any minute, so I'll start speaking and he might hear me. He may still be in transition. Will entered the world of triathlon as a successful county swimmer and a member of Atlantis Swimming Club. In his first competitive season, he was crowned South East champion and represented the South East in the GB International Championships. Equally as strong in the run as the swim, Will has also represented Sussex and South East England in cross-country. Will is planning ahead, and his mid-term goal, I'm going to slow down in case that's him, no? His mid-term goal is a top 10 finish in the GB Championships in 2018. If Will arrives, I'll repeat that in a minute so he can hear it again, but well done, Will. Now, from somebody who we were expecting and isn't here to somebody who we weren't expecting and is now here, which is fabulous. Lily Davis is a swimmer who qualified for the Nationals this year in the 100 and 200 metres breaststroke, which was also a qualifying event for Rio 2016. Her long-term goal is to qualify for Tokyo in 2020, but admits that this will never eclipse the satisfaction she once had of thrashing me in a swim down the River Arun in 2014. Complete with the sarcastic commentary from her father, who grabbed the microphone as I got out the water. Lily can be with us today, as she's not going to Sheffield till tomorrow. Daniel Jones is another Atlantis swimmer with a very realistic ambition of swimming for Team GB. A member of the club's National Development Elite Squad, Daniel has qualified for the Nationals for the past 2 years and was this year the recipient of the club's Most Improved Swimmer. Well done, Daniel. I think we've nearly got a whole relay team here, because next up is Freya Fulcher. Another member of Atlantis Elite National Development Squad is Freya. She is also the junior club captain. Freya came home from this year's county championships with a haul of 4 gold and 4 silver medals. Well done, Freya. And to complete the first part, we have Christina Pavlau is dominant in the sport of judo. She has been Sussex champion since starting the sport at the age of 8 and has retained this title every year. That's 6 successful defences. She was British Schools champion in 2014 and gained silver in the British Championships in both 2014 and 2015. This year her team became British champions and she represented England in an international in the Netherlands. Christina has maintained her #1 spot in the GB Ippon League for the whole of 2016. Fantastic.
What this guy's got to say is absolutely unbelievable. I will not take up any more time. So, ladies and gents, will you please welcome to the stage, he's already here, international swimmer Mr. Mike Goody.
Well, I'd just like to say thank you very much for inviting me to come down and chat to you guys. I remember being in your position many years ago, probably like 16 odd years ago. I was in the position that you were in now. But there was nothing like this to recognise the talent that you guys have and the achievements that you're achieving now and your aspirations to achieve and dream and to go on to be better things. I mean, obviously, there's a few people already in the talent programmes. We've already got people competing for Great Britain, which is absolutely fantastic. So just first off, I'd just like another little round of applause for them as well. Because that's why we're here, with you guys. So, a little bit about me. This funny looking bloke here with one leg is also the guy talking to you. I'm Mike Gooding, and I was part of 1 Squadron Royal Air Force Regiment. I was an infantryman for the Royal Air Force. I suppose one of the reasons why I've come to speak to you is because I was a swimmer, so it's good to see some swimmers here. And I actually gave up my level of swimming, which was a little bit similar to some of yours, to actually chase a career. And that is, I will start by saying, that is probably one of the biggest regrets that I had, is I actually chose a career and didn't carry on a sport in any way, shape or form. And I do regret doing that. But, nevertheless, I had a great career in the British Armed Forces, part of this squadron. And in 11 months and 2 weeks after joining and testing to Her Majesty the Queen, I was in Afghanistan. Under a year, I was in Afghanistan. And I was deployed with 115 of what I class as my brothers. We're an all-male regiment, and we had some great fun. As you can see, basically just darting around, and we were providing force protection for people in Afghanistan. We were taking out veterinarians, doctors, providing the local people with means to help themselves and to avoid the Taliban, for those of you who saw on the news. This was my baby. This was the vehicle that I was driving all the time, taking me and my friends around our 400 square kilometres area of operations. So we got around a bit in the desert of Afghanistan. I was quite unlucky. 3 months into my tour, I got blown up for the first time. On this time, I actually took a little bit of shrapnel, a couple of scars here and there, but nevertheless, the 3 of us that were injured, we were quite alright. It was 2 weeks later that I got blown up again for the second time. I was a bit of a magnet for trouble, shall we say, in Afghanistan, and for those of you a little bit, this is quite a powerful slide as such, but it's not gore or anything. So, this is the vehicle that you just saw. That is a picture from the camera. There's 2 cameras in Afghanistan on Kandahar base where I was. 1 points west, 1 points east. That was the footage of my vehicle being blown up. So I was driving that, and I'm actually trapped under that. I was blown up by an IED, a roadside bomb, and I was trapped, flip rolled and crushed 3 times, and trapped by my vehicle for 3.5 hours. It's quite an impressive vehicle. The next day, after they managed to get me out, that's what was left of it. This is a 4.5 ton, 2-inch armour-plated vehicle. I thought I was dead. The first words I remember hearing was from one of my commanders saying, "Oh my God, Goody's alive." That were the first words I heard, and that was it. I thought, this is all gone. And I had a note from my parents to basically apologise for doing everything wrong that I'd ever done in my life as a kid, and I was sorry for it. That's how I thought I was gone. That's how I was going in my head. But it wasn't to be. I managed to get out of this. There was a little bit of hooing and hawing. I was unconscious for some of this, which, fortunate, I don't remember a lot of it. But I sustained quite heavy injuries, although it doesn't look it at the moment on this time, to my left leg, my spine, my head, and my pelvis. But they're all physical injuries. What people don't tend to talk about, I hadn't in the past, was the psychological as well. There's 2 types. There's the post-traumatic stress that goes with it. I mean, as you see me now, I'm cutting around quite happily, quite free on my prosthetic leg, and it doesn't hinder me. I've actually nicknamed it Nessie, because it looks like a Loch Ness Monster when I swim. But this one was for me. This was the harder one. This was the harder injury to deal with. This was the one that made me not want to get out of bed. This is the one that turned me to alcohol. And at 23 years old, I became a clinical alcoholic. I could not function without alcohol. I was suicidal, and I didn't want to be living anymore. And at 23 years old, That was quite a difficult experience to go through. But there were some things around that decided to change that. And it was my original love of swimming that got this back. I was in Headley Court, the Rehabilitation Centre for Injured Soldiers in Surrey, so not far down the road from here. And my consultant said, what do you love doing? You know, whilst I was sort of trying to recover all from this. And I said, I've always loved swimming. You know, I used to be pretty good at it at one stage, but I gave it up to work. Why is that? And he says, well, let's think about that for a minute. Let's focus on your love of swimming to get you out of this and to rehabilitate your physical injuries. So, I was confined by the walls that I had created. I quite like this guy. I don't know who actually said it, but I was confined by the walls that I had built. I couldn't do anything with my own head. I didn't want to do anything with my own head. All I want to do is drink was my own head. All psychological. There was nothing physically stopping me. And once I'd got over that, the world was my oyster. With help from the Benevolent Fund and Battleback, I turned my love of swimming into a goal to achieve something. So in 6 months after being diagnosed as clinical alcoholic and depression and post-traumatic stress disorder, a team of 6 of us swam the English Channel. We did it in 13 hours, 47 minutes. 2 of us were two of the guys were non-swimmers and actually travelled backwards, which is not helpful when you're in a race. There was 6 teams that we were swimming as part of, 6 people per 6 teams. We didn't win, but I think we did the best job of it. And it was this point that I decided, you know what? There's more to life. I'm not going to be confined anymore. What else do I want to do? And everyone at some point in your lives, there's got to be things that you guys are thinking, I want to do that in the future. I wouldn't mind giving that a try. And I say to you, write them down. Give yourself a time frame and think about when you want to do them. Because you're going to have to do them at some point, and just enjoy it when you're doing it. Oh, hello. So, after swimming the channel, I became a kayak instructor. And I taught other injured soldiers who enjoyed kayaking and water sports to actually kayak. And I started going, what else can we do? And using Battleback and the Benevolent Fund, we actually started doing all these weird activities that, you know, everyone's going, you as injured soldiers, you can't do this. This isn't possible. This isn't right. You guys can't do this. So we went, yes, we can. I became a trick skier and taught other injured soldiers. This is me landing from a 360-degree flip. I say landing and then I splashed in and really hurt myself, but this was a cool picture before I stacked it. I then learned to ski, something I'd always wanted to do, so that's what I was saying, I always wanted to learn to ski, and everyone's going, you can't ski normally, you've got one leg. That's proof. You can do whatever you want to do. If you put your mind to it, you just might have to find somewhere differently of doing it. I cycled Land's End to John O'Groats, and we did that in 16 days, but to add to the challenge, we did the 3 Peak Challenge inside of that, and I also swam the width of Lake Bala, Lake Windermere and Loch Ness in those as well, to raise money. I think we raised about £40,000 all in all. And in 2011, I did the swimming part of an Ironman, 2.5 miles. I was one of the last swimmers in, and I came out in 14th place of just the swim section. I beat the professionals out. And this is the point of me going back to swimming, that I really lost my way a little bit with multiple different sports. But yes, I carried on. Oh yes, that was another one. I went to the South Pole as a reserve with Prince Harry, one of my first meetings with Prince Harry. Lovely bloke, really good. And I became the first amputee to work frontline ambulancing in the United Kingdom. Mainly because I want to do something like that in my life. I like to help people and medically want to help people, but also because someone told me that no amputees do it and it was impossible to do it. Well, that's who I was working for up until a year ago, South East Coast Ambulance Service. But amongst all this, like I said, I'd lost my lust for swimming. And I got it back a little bit with the Invictus Games. Prince Harry saw what we were doing, all us injured soldiers, with all these weird and random activities. And he said, I want to make a Games to incorporate this. He stole the idea from the Americans, like all good things, and made it far better. And he held the inaugural Invictus Games in 2014. And it was a huge success. It got guys with physical injuries and psychological injuries to change their perspectives of what they can do. And also inspired other injured soldiers, as well as non-injured soldiers, to what they want to do and what they can do. This remit of being told you can't do something, it's impossible, you can't do that, for whatever reason, became a notion of wrong. And I firmly believe that that is wrong. You can do anything that you want to do if you set your mind to it. I won 4 gold medals and a silver medal in this. And that was my love of swimming again. Bang, straight again. For the 3rd time in my life, I loved swimming. So I carried on, and I trained for the recent Invictus Games. And I won another 4 gold medals, but I dropped myself to bronze. But I made another life choice over this. I realised that swimming was my passion and my life. And I decided to give everything up to train full-time. So I was working, as I said, for the South East Coast Ambulance Service, and I gave that up to train full-time. And I now train 6 days a week. I swim approximately 50 to 55 kilometres a week. For the swimmers in the room, I don't know what you guys are swimming, but probably, if you're not there, you will be soon. And it's great fun. You love being in the water probably as much as me. And the rest of you guys that do sport, you love your sports. You wouldn't be achieving and getting to where you are if you didn't love your sports like I love my swimming. And you are going to reach obstacles, with whatever they may be, as you're going through it. As is everyone in this room. Life gives you lemons. Make some lemonade. Enjoy it. It's great. My aspirations, I missed out on Rio unfortunately, but it's the Commonwealth Games in Tokyo in 2020. And I expect to see some of you here. There. I want to go, hey, how you doing? Do you remember Horsham? That's what I want. That's what I want to see. So I challenge some of you guys. Aim there if you're not. And we'll go and meet up in Australia and Tokyo. What great places to say hi. Horsham to Australia or Tokyo. That's where you want to be. And Michael Jordan said this quote, and I quite find it very apt for sports. Limits like fears are often just an illusion. So then my message to you is, if you're bound by the limits and the fears that are set in your head, you will reach a point and struggle. If you aim high and give it everything you've got, the world is your oyster and you can achieve anything. Thank you very much.
That incredibly inspirational story and message, which I think rang true with every single person in this room. So thank you very, very much indeed for giving up your time to be with us this afternoon. Okay, so we will complete the awards now. If I can invite you back onto the stage, Mike. And we will start with Orla Brothers, who, in her athletic journey, tried many different athletic events before settling on the 300 metres and the 300 metre hurdles. In 2015, she won the Sussex Schools event and then went on to win at the English Schools Championships. She has represented England at both the 300 and the 4x300 metres relay and has now set her sights on representing Great Britain in the 400 metres hurdles. I'm exhausted just thinking about that. Well done, all. I was about to say this is our last swimmer, but we may have more. Atlantis Swimming Club, you're doing a fantastic job. And can I welcome onto the stage Michael Pallister, who is another swimmer from Atlantis, who competes in freestyle breaststroke and butterfly at both county and regional level. And I've written here, he's frequently medaling, and I mean he's gaining medals, not messing about. I'm sure you're not, are you? In 2015, Michael was ranked in the top 5 nationally, and quite rightly has now realistic Olympic ambitions to represent Team GB. Well done, Michael. So we welcome back a previous winner now in Kate Small, who is an international trampolinist, who is now regularly competing abroad. This year she narrowly missed out on a medal in the Friendship Cup in Prague, but gained a silver, narrowly missing on gold in the pairs competition. Kate, as I've mentioned, is a previous Set for Success winner, and it's fabulous to see her continued progress. Well done, Kate. Now, to our second goalkeeper of the evening, Hannah Gardner, whose footballing journey began with Horsham Ambassadors at the age of 7, before being signed by the Sparrows 5 years later. A member of the Brighton Hove Albion School of Excellence for the past 3 years, Hannah has pulled on the England shirt for both the under-15 and under-16 teams. She is now training with the under-17s, and needless to say, when she plays in goal for the school team at Millay, not a lot gets past. Well done, Hannah. Can I just mention the quality of the handshakes that I've been getting, actually? I think it's a testament to sports people that know how to shake a hand properly. I don't know if you'd agree, Mike. Our next recipient is not here, as she's competing in Scotland, but we do have representation here. And we're talking about Hannah Patchett, who is a multiple Set for Success winner and an ambassador. She is a water polo player. Last month she represented Great Britain under-20s in the European Championships. Currently studying at Leeds, Hannah intends to represent Great Britain at the University Games in Asia next summer. She's currently in Scotland competing, but I'd welcome onto the stage Mrs. Patchett, please, who's going to receive the award in her place. After only 3 years of playing basketball, Alexandra Baker has experienced huge success. Selected to play for Sussex and South East England, she's now gone on to represent England at under-15 level and has recently been selected for the under-16 squad. She was one of only 2 British girls selected to attend the International Basketball Federation's under-15 camp in Slovenia. Alexandra is certainly one to watch for the future. Well done. A previous Set for Success winner, we've been marvelling at Bronwyn Thomas's sensational rise in football over the past few years. Now playing senior football, Bronwyn bagged a first half hat-trick this year for Brighton and Hove in the County Cup final. She has twice been called up for the senior Wales national team and has just returned from Latvia with the Welsh under-17s, who she successfully helped qualify for the elite round of the European Championships. Well done, Bronwyn. I shouldn't have mentioned the handshakes because they're progressively getting harder and harder now. I've got 3 more, I think, to endure. Our next winner is Tamsin Campbell. A member of Crawley Athletics Club, Tamsin is a formidable pole vaulter. She has represented England at under-20 level and has consistently placed in the top 3 in national competitions over the past 2 years. Well done, Tamsin. Okay. So, Verity Bashford. Is Verity here? Ah, okay. Verity is currently Sussex champion, in addition to being a member of the gold medal winning regional team in trampolining. Identified by English Gymnastics as one of the top 24 competitors in the country, Verity will be representing the South East at the English Championships next month. Moving now to the sport of kickboxing. Competing in the 65 kilogram category, Jamie Brown is currently the ISKA British champion and the MAA SIF British Open champion. Basically, he's the best in the country. Having recovered from a knee injury, he is now preparing for a fight. Oh, good. This weekend in Warrington, and we wish you all the best, Jamie. Zoe Gordiano's aim is to compete at the World Championships for Sports Acrobatics, and she is well on her way to making that a reality. In her first year of competition, she qualified for the national finals, and since then has become Sussex champion in the girls' pairs, as well as competing internationally in Turin, where she won a gold medal. This is a first for us. Harvey Claridge has been racing motorcycles since the age of 8 and currently races in the Mini British Bike Championships. This year he qualified first at the World Championships in Spain and went on to win both races, making him our first set for success world champion. This year Harvey hopes to step up to similar levels of domination in the GP50 class and ultimately to race in the Moto3 class at the British Superbikes Championships. And finally, holder of 5 county titles in swimming, having set numerous club records, Isabella Hayes also competes in triathlon for the South East regional team and recently placed 3rd in the world's largest junior triathlon event, despite competing in the age group above. It is therefore no surprise that Isabella cannot be with us today, as she is in Florida training with Team GB.
So who are you?
I'm Lily Davis.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 16 years old.
What is your sport?
I swim for Atlantis Swim Club.
How long have you been doing the sport?
I'd say around now, professionally at the level, probably around 4 years.
Nice. How will the contribution benefit your sporting career?
It will help with the entries towards all of the competitions that I go away for, such as like Sheffield or Glasgow or places like that. So it will just fund the entries and the equipment I need, such as fins, paddles, racing costumes, goggles and such like that.
What does S for S mean to you?
It means a lot because it shows that people actually appreciate the sport that you're doing, and how much it shows like the amount of effort that it makes you feel good because someone's actually appreciating what you do. So really it just makes me want to carry on because I know that someone really thinks that I'm doing quite well in it. So
Hiya guys, so what are your names?
Michael.
Michael.
And I'm Stuart.
Stuart. And how old are you?
12.
12. And what is your sport?
Swimming.
Swimming. And how long have you been doing it for?
About 5 years.
Cool. And how will this contribution benefit your sporting career?
Well, it's really useful because it helps me buy a lot of equipment that otherwise we would have to pay for.
And how does it help you in supporting his career?
It's as well as the financial help of equipment. If he's injured, it's paid for some physio. Also, by getting an award, it's irrespective of the money, it's a stimulus to do better. So I think it's just goodness from a family perspective and athlete perspective.
And what does S for S mean for you?
As being part of this organisation gives you a feeling that there's a whole lot of other people in the same situation in the Horsham area, and you're one of many rather than you're on your own just trying to succeed.
The reason why I'm appearing in shot is because we have a very good athlete who's right next door to me, but she's a little bit on the shy side, so I'm going to make her feel welcome. Hello there, what's your name?
Verity Bashford.
Can you say that again? Your name is?
Verity Bashford.
Right, this is Verity. So Verity, tell me about your sport. What is your sport?
Trampolining.
Okay, so how many years have you been at that?
5.
Okay, so if you don't mind me asking, lots of sports out there. What got you into trampolining?
Well, I did gymnastics, but after gymnastics got a bit hard because of school, so I thought something similar, trampolining.
Okay, all right. And you found out that you were pretty good at it. So you started doing competitions. How did you get on with those?
Yeah, I started off alright, but then I gradually got better, increased to like national level.
Yeah, well, you see, that's the good way to go. I was a bit worried when you said, well, you know, I started off and it was, yeah, all kind of went sort of south like this.
Yeah.
But that's really good to know that you did that. So, listen, you're here today with a lot of young athletes, young award winners and recipients of the S4S Awards. So, tell me, what does it mean to you? I mean, you know, because you've won some money. How are you going to use it?
I've used a little bit to pay for my entries to competitions, so I've got the English Championships coming up, so I paid for them. I've got some new leotards, which I use for my training and competitions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm Alex Baker.
And how old are you?
I just turned 15.
What's your sport? What do you do?
I play basketball.
Basketball. How long have you been doing that?
Just under 3 years.
3 years. And what will the money and the contribution given to you help? Like, what will you put it towards?
I mean, it helps for so much things like transport, because for basketball you have to travel like all over the country, such as Manchester, and it's so expensive.
And what does S4S mean for you?
It's just nice that like people are recognising you at your individual sports and they support you so much, and it's really nice.
What's your name?
I'm Tamsin Campbell.
And how old are you?
17.
17. And what do you do? What sport?
I'm a pole vaulter, so part of athletics.
How long have you been doing that?
Just about 5 years.
How did you get into that? Because obviously gymnastics or...
Yeah, I started as a gymnast, did a bit of sports acro, and then did athletics alongside gymnastics, and then chose, and it feeds in quite well. It's quite an aerial gymnastics event.
When you started gymnastics?
Gymnastics, 5, I think.
5, so it started from really little.
Yeah, and progressed from there.
And how will the contribution benefit your sporting career?
Well, poles for pole vault are quite expensive. You need all different types.
How much would a pole cost?
It's about £350, so it will go towards one for bigger heights and competition.
And what does S4S mean for you?
It's really good to have a support network in the local area. Obviously, everyone's getting recognised for being talented athletes. That's really good, and obviously, the money is a huge help for all sorts of things.
My car brought me to Set for Success, but on top of that, more importantly, is the achievements of athletes, young athletes in the local area. I'm a Sussex lad, I grew up in Sussex, and to find out that there's something in place that enables, encourages and makes them recognise of their achievements is fantastic. Something I didn't have when I was younger, and I really wish it was, because I think it would have made more successful sports youth of the future, which I think quite a few of these people will be.
Do you think you're going to continue contributing to Set for Success?
Good question. I would love to keep contributing to Set for Success, or S4S, as it's now newly known. I think, you know, what it stands for, and, you know, actually being here and learning far more about it and actually meeting some of the young athletes, I think is actually quite important, and give them a little bit of motivation, showing them, you know, that life does give you lemons, make lemonade and enjoy the lemonade as such, and just push yourself forward, because there are going to be obstacles, and like we find out in the military, and we're taught in the military, if you've got an obstacle, you find a way around it. You either go through it, you're over it, or under it. You find a way, adapt and overcome.